Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Welcome. Can everyone hear me okay? Yeah. So welcome to HareKrishnaValley.com.au. So this is a spiritual oasis in the desert of this dark age. This age is called Kali Yuga. Yuga means age or time. And Kali means dark. Does it feel like the world is a dark place at the moment? Hands up if you feel like the world is a little bit dark. Quite a few people. Quite a few people, yeah. There's a lot of darkness in the world. There's also a lot of light in the world. So there are two forces. They cannot exist simultaneously. They exist simultaneously, but not in the same place. When the sun comes up, Krishna Surya Sama. The sun is, in India we call it Surya. In France we call it Soleil. In Italy we call it
Sole. Sole.
Soleil.
Sole.
Yeah, similar to France. Yeah. Italy, France, similar. And in India we call Surya. And in Australia we call it sun. The sun. So in every language it is different, but it's the same thing. We're talking about the same thing. So the sun, when it is there, there is no darkness. Maya Haya Andhaka. Andhaka means darkness. So it says that when the sun is there, you cannot have darkness. So you won't have them in the same place. They can exist simultaneously in different places. Just like now, it is sunny here in Australia, but if you go to somewhere else in the world, it's dark. It's middle of the night. Everyone's asleep. So it cannot exist in the same place at the same time. So this age that we live in now, it is called Kali. Kali means dark. It's a dark time. Krishna Surya Sama Maya Haya Andhaka. This is from the Chaitanya Charitamrita. Wherever there is Krishna, now this is our name for God. Hands up if you believe in God. Or something higher, something above us. Everyone has different names. Like some people say God, some people say the universe, some people say Krishna. Everyone has different names. In our tradition, we say Krishna. That's our name for God, Krishna. And in our tradition, God is a blue cowherd boy. You see in the pictures, there's a blue boy. Who is dancing and feeding a peacock and playing his flute. This is how we see God. He is young. It's like people want to stay young forever. Why would God be old? He's old because he's the oldest person. Puranam Purusham. Purana Purush means he's the oldest person. Navayovanam cha. But he always looks young. He doesn't have to get old like us. We can't control it. We will get older and older and older and older, and then we will die. It's a good deal, isn't it? You will get older and then you will die. That's not a good deal. Just like if someone sells you something and they say, yeah, it's only going to last for a little while and then it will finish. That's not a very good deal. But everything in this world is like that. Because we are not the body, according to the Bhagavad Gita, the ancient teachings of India, we are not the body, we are the soul, the Atma. And the soul lives forever. But while you're in the body, the body will only last a short period of time. And then it's gone. That's the nature of spiritual science. We call it reincarnation, or transmigration of the soul, or samsara in Sanskrit. So we only live for a certain period of time. So Krishna, he lives perpetually. He lives always. Never was there a time when he did not exist, nor in the future shall he cease to be. But in the spiritual world, we don't have to get old. We can stay young forever. While you're in this world, your body will only lasts for a certain amount of time. But then it will perish. But your soul keeps living. That doesn't make sense? Yeah, the soul keeps living. So Krishna, he lives in a world, in a spiritual place where everything lasts forever. Nothing diminishes. The bodies, everyone lives perpetually, and everyone is young. Hands up if you like to be young forever. One lady. Okay. Okay, two ladies. We want to be young forever. Yeah, that's natural. Everyone wants to be like that. But there is a place you can go to where you can be like that. But as long as you're here in this world, you cannot be like that. You will have to die at some point. That is the nature. That is reality. Everyone has to die. But that is unnatural. Then, if you die in this world, your soul will transmigrate into another body. So you don't really die, but you just change your body. Like you change your clothes every day. So you don't have the same clothes you wore yesterday. So you just took them off and you put on a new set. So it's like that. Then the soul will go into a new body. So, Krishna's body, it lives forever. So that's how we see God. He's a blue cow-haired boy. He is young. He likes to play with the cows. Just like after lunch we'll take you to see our sacred cows. Everyone said they want to go and visit the sacred cows. Even we had a friend from our other farm, our sister farm, up in Byron Bay, Moolumba. Beautiful place. Beautiful place. Even more beautiful than here. But she came here and she looks after cows up there. She said, our cows are very special. Why is that? Our cows are very special? Because they're very special. And when you're very special, it means you are very special. And so our cows are very, even amongst all the cows in the world, on the earth, our cows are very special. A number of people have told me that. People who live with cows, not just random people, people who actually live with cows, serve cows. Many people have told our cows are special. So what can I say? We have the best cows in the universe. And then after lunch, you can go and meet the best cows in the universe. Does it sound nice? It's part of your ticket today. You get to see the best cows in the universe. We can't write that on the ticket because then if you say you're the best of something, you can actually be sued in marketing. You're not allowed to use those terms, the best, although they take you to court. So we don't say the best, but I'm saying here on the microphone, on the YouTube, we are the best. Like that. We are the best. But I can't write it now, that's all. So, we have these beautiful cows. So God likes to live with beautiful cows. And then, wherever Krishna is, because Krishna is like the sun, God is like the sun. So wherever he is, there is not darkness. And wherever, it says in the ancient teachings, whenever cows are protected in that place, darkness will not exist. Everything will be pure and peaceful and spiritual. But if the cows are not protected, then everything will become dark. And we'll see in the world. Actually, there are 5 groups which must always be protected according to the ancient teachings. What are the 5 groups that must always be protected under all circumstances? Children, very good. Who said that? Oh, good. Okay, thank you. You get a free dessert today. So, okay, children. Children must always be protected. Okay. Second, who else must always be protected? Very good. Elderly. The elderly must always be protected. The children, the elderly. Third?
Nature.
Nature. Very good. That's not one of them, but it's true.
Animals.
But it's true. It's true. You have to.
Cows.
Cows. Very good. Yeah. Animals. Generically animals, but especially the cow. So the cow must always be protected. The women, the elderly. Oh, sorry, the children, the elderly. The cows. And?
People with disabilities.
Yeah, people with disabilities, yeah. That's not one of the 5 groups, but it's true.
Women.
That's true. Which one?
Women. Women.
Very good. Women. Yeah, women must always be protected. Yeah. And there's one more. Yes?
The deities of Lord Krishna.
That's true. That's true, but that's not one of the 5. But it's true. That's good.
Sages or munis or teachers.
Brahmanas.
No.
Holy people. Yeah, the spirit, the holy person. But he has to be a real holy person, not the cheating holy people. They're like wolves in the dress of the lambs. Our great guru Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, he said that 100 years ago, when the missionaries were coming to India. He said many of them were wolves in the dress of the lambs. They dress nicely on the outside, but in the inside, and we know historically, so many not good things happen. So that's not good. But a real holy person you have to protect. So these 5 especially, plus the other things you mentioned also. But we have to protect. So here at Hare Krishna Valley, we protect these 5. Children are protected. Cows are protected. We don't eat the cow. In Australia and India and Brazil and America, these are the 4 biggest cow slaughtering nations on the planet. They eat a lot of cows. Kill a lot of cows. Australia, we kill a lot of cows. And when you do that, problems will come. Everything will become dark. So here we don't kill the cows. They are born, just like a few days ago. We had a beautiful calf was born. You'll get to meet her after lunch. Her name is Nainika. Nainika means one who has beautiful eyes. Nainika. She has you'll see, she has beautiful eyes. If her eyes are not beautiful, you can have your money back. But her eyes are beautiful, so she's got Nainika. Beautiful eyes. So she was only born a few days ago. So that the cows, they are born here and they can die here peacefully. They don't have to worry. No one's going to eat them. All the other farms in Australia, everyone eats the cows. We don't eat the cows. So cows are protected, children are protected. We don't eat the children either. We're not going to have these kids for the feast today. Unless they're not well behaved. Then we'll have to think about it. But otherwise, we don't eat the kids. Don't eat the children. Not good. Don't eat the children. Must be protected. Children must be protected. See around the world, the children, I'm not going to give statistics and everything because I don't want to depress all of you, but child abuse is huge. If we really go into it, but I'm not going to go right into it, but it's huge on the planet. And then that's why there is darkness, that's why there's war and all these problems, because if you don't look after cows and children, and women must always be protected. Women are being exploited all over the world. Once again, I won't go into the statistics, but a lot of exploitation of the women. And if you exploit the women, everything will become dark. So the women, the children, the cows, the elderly, same thing. I won't give statistics, but elderly people are not being looked after in a lot of places. Not being looked after. And finally, the holy people. Sometimes the holy people are not looked after. Like I said, the genuine holy people. Like in some countries around the planet, they try to stop us. We are genuine holy people. We practice what we preach. We don't tell you one thing and do the other thing. No, we do the same thing. But in certain places in the world, they are trying to stop us, persecute us. They give us a lot of problems in certain places. So when all this happens, then the world becomes dark. So here at Hare Krishna Valley, we're teaching the positive alternative. So you have to protect all of these different groups, and then things will not become dark. Why do we do this? Because this is what Krishna teaches us. This is what God teaches us. In the Vedas. The Vedas means the word Veda. You know this word? What does it mean? What does it mean? Veda. Yeah, knowledge. Yeah, it means knowledge. The Vedas are the books which give us knowledge. The Bhagavad Gita, it's a famous book. It gives us knowledge. If you study it, it is like a guidebook how to live in this world. And if you study it and practice it, your life will be peaceful. And if you don't practice it and you don't study it, your life will not be peaceful. Sometimes people, they say, I know the Bhagavad Gita. I meet many people. Sometimes they say, I know the Bhagavad Gita. I know it. I said, okay, tell me something. But then what they tell me is not what's in the Bhagavad Gita. Because I study it, I teach it, I learn it, and we try to follow it. So if you do this, your life will become peaceful. But if you don't do it, then. So this knowledge is called Veda. Veda means spiritual knowledge. We all need spiritual guidance in our life. Because in the 3rd chapter of the Bhagavad Gita, the 3rd chapter is called Karma Yoga. What does karma mean? Karma. Everyone knows the word karma. What does it mean, karma? Yeah.
It means like your actions coming back to you.
Yeah. Yeah, literally it means action. And then we know karma means when you do an action, that reaction comes back to you. Yeah, so that's what we call karma. So it literally means karma means action. So 3rd chapter of the Bhagavad Gita is called Karma Yoga. The 4th chapter of Bhagavad Gita is called Jnana Yoga. What does jnana mean? Knowledge. So you have to marry these two. Your actions or your activity has to be governed by knowledge. The problem with the world these days is people act, everyone's very active, but they don't have knowledge. And then what happens when you act without knowledge? You make a mess. Does anyone here cook? One lady. Very good. Okay, so this one lady cooks. So if you cook but you don't have knowledge, what do? You make a mess. You burn it and it doesn't come out very nice. You know, I'm not a very expert cook. I know I can cook a few things, enough to stay alive. You know, I'm still here, so I know how to cook some things, but I'm not like an expert cook. I could learn it, but I use my energy for other things. But if you don't know what you're doing, you just make a big mess. You know, and then it comes out and you invite someone for dinner and they look at it and they say, oh, it looks very nice. Thank you for inviting me like that. So it means if you do the activity of cooking but you don't have the knowledge of how to cook, you'll just make a mess. So in life, if we don't know how to act properly, if we don't have knowledge, spiritual wisdom, we just make a mess. And you see in the world, you know, there's a big mess. You know, the planet's in a big mess. Politics is a big mess. Society is a big mess. The environment is a big mess. The economy is a big mess. Everything's a big mess. Why? Because people are acting without knowledge. So the Bhagavad Gita teaches us you have to act in this world, but you must have knowledge how to act properly. That's the ancient teaching. So that's why we have the Vedas. We have these ancient books that we study and we practice, we try to follow. And if you do that, your life becomes peaceful. Shanti. Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, you will become Shanti. But if you don't follow the ancient teachings, your life will become chaotic. And then we wish you luck. But if you follow knowledge, then you'll have a very good life. So here at Hare Krishna Valley, we try to teach people these things. Live peacefully, don't eat the animals, don't kill the animals, don't eat the children, they don't taste very good anyway. Don't eat the women, don't eat the elderly people, and don't eat the holy people. Don't do that. But in Kali Yuga, people do all these crazy things, and then that's why we have all the problems. It's a dark age. So here we're trying to teach something different. Not darkness, but light. It's a place where you can come, you can feel this positive experience of light. So does anyone have any questions or comments about anything we're talking about, or about anything in terms of spiritual knowledge? Or you can ask a question about anything if you want some spiritual guidance or enlightenment, we can do.
Prabhuji, earlier you said we can go to Krishna or Golo. Can you tell us how? That way we can start following to stay young.
So the question is, how can we go to the other world, the spiritual world? It's a very good question. How do we get there? So just like if you want to go and see the 12 apostles, how do you get there?
Drive.
You drive, yeah, or you could walk, or you could take a boat. Well, there's many ways to get there. But you have to know how to get there. That's the point. And you need a map. Because if you don't know the map, you'll end up somewhere else. You'll end up in Alice Springs. Instead of seeing the 12 apostles, you'll see Ayers Rock, which is also nice. You have to make your choice, but you need a map, right? Otherwise you won't get there. So in life, we need guidance, we need a map. So if you want to go to the spiritual world, if you want to go to Krishna, if you want to go to God, if you want to live in His place, people call it heaven or different words, you need the map, how to get there. Now you can't just drive your car, because what?
It's above.
It's above? Yeah, it's above, yeah, true. The car will run out of petrol. We've had that experience this week. The car can run out of petrol. So then if the car runs out, you're not going to get to Krishna's land. The other interesting fact is, there's no cars in the spiritual world. Show me any picture where Krishna is in a car. There's no cars there. There's no aeroplanes. There's no cars. There's no iPhones. There's no iPhones there in the spiritual world. How will we cope? No iPhones. When you go to the spiritual world, there's no one sitting around going, let you know, what's Krishna doing now? So, no live streaming. These things are not there. They do have communication. You know how they communicate in the spiritual world? Because they don't have a phone. You know how they communicate? Parrots. Parrots. The parrots come and they speak. Krishna speaks the parrot language. Yeah. Speaks and the parrot listens, and then the parrot flies to Radha, or his friend, and says, gives the message, and then she speaks to the parrot, and then he goes back to Krishna, gives the message. That's actually how they... Right? Does that sound more cool? That's better. Better than an iPhone. You just have to take your parrot with you, wherever you go. And you just say your parrot. Like Kamal's down at the ashram, I just said to the parrot. Tell him I just need him up at the Goshala to clean the cow bung. Goes on, hey Kamal. Sends back and he goes, okay. That's how they do in the spiritual world. It's a better system. But in this world we use these things. So in this world we have these material systems. So material systems will not get you there. It doesn't work. You can't use an iPhone to call Krishna. And you can't just say, Krishna, Hare Krishna, I was wondering if I can come to the spiritual world. Can you send me a pin on Google Maps so I can find out where you are? It doesn't work like that. It's not that system. So what is the system? So it's a good question. What is the system? The system is, we can get there by sound vibration, which is called Shabda Brahma. Shabda Brahma means spiritual sound. Spiritual sound. Sound is how we learn about everything in this world. Right? How do you learn something? It's by sound. Right? You put on the television, or you put on the radio, or how it's sound. Sound tells you. Or you ask someone, how do I get to the 12 apostles? Right? It is by sound. Someone says, oh, you go on this road, and then you go on that road, and then you go there, and you go here, and like that. How long it will take? It'll take 2 or 3 hours from here to get there. Well, it's sound. That's how you travel. That's how you learn. So Shabda Brahma means spiritual sound. So when we get spiritual sound, that teaches us how to get to Krishna. So Krishna is very kind. He came here to earth 5,000 years ago, and he spoke the Bhagavad Gita. And when you study the Bhagavad Gita, he teaches you how to get there. Right? Krishna says, if you want to know him, he says, Bhakcha mam abhijanati yavanyas chasmi tattvataha. You know that one? And that's 18th chapter. 18, I think, 55. Like that. Yeah. That's a good verse. Now, Bhakcha mama bijanati. Krishna says, only by bhakti. Bhakti means devotion. Just like when you come here to Hare Krishna Valley, on the front sign, it says Bhakti Yoga Ashram. It's a place where we practice bhakti yoga. What is bhakti yoga? Bhakti yoga means the spirit of devotion. Just like we cook food. If you don't eat food, you die. So we cook food, and we cooked food before, but now my wife is offering the food to Krishna, to God. Right? So we cook the food, but with bhakti or devotion, with love, we offer it to Krishna first. We always do this. First we offer the food to Krishna, then we partake. Then it becomes blessed, it becomes spiritualized. So that is the process of bhakti. That means whatever you do, do it for Krishna. Don't just cook food just for yourself. Cook food for Krishna, for God. Make him happy. And then if he's happy, you will be happy. That is the system. So that is called bhakti. So Bhagavad Gita teaches us that if you practice bhakti, then you can come to Krishna. Tattvataha. Tattva means truth. You will know him in truth. In other words, he will transport your soul to his spiritual world when you die. He will transport you there when you know him in truth. So he teaches that in the Bhagavad Gita. Jamma kama chame divyam. Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita. If you understand that his appearance and his activities while he's here are fully divya, spiritual, then you will go to him at the end. He says in many places in Bhagavad Gita. So this is how we get to that world. And we can even give you Krishna's telephone number, God's telephone number, if you want to connect to him on the phone. And that telephone number is Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So when you chant the pure holy name of Krishna, you are directly communing with him, connecting with him. That's his telephone number. He's listening. But he's listening to how you chant. He's listening to how.
He's walking in right now.
Yeah. You could be correct. If you have the eyes to see. It says in Brahma Samhita, Premanjanach Charita Bhakti Vilochanena. If you have your eyes are tinged with bhakti, with love, you can see him. So maybe he walked in now, but we can't see him because we still have lust. We still have material desires in our heart. But if you can cleanse that, then you can see him. Maybe he did walk in now. Yeah, he came in to sit and have lunch. He was called. When the pure devotee calls him, then he sits and eats. That is the system. And sometimes, even in the past, he ate everything on the plate. And when they came back, there was nothing left on the plate. We'll see if that happens today. But it has happened. There are stories where that has happened. I swear on the Bhagavad Gita, that is true. So that is how we connect to Krishna. But that was a very nice question. Is that okay?
I was also prompting to the 9 steps that would help us day to day life.
9 steps?
No, so you told bhakti.
Yeah.
The 9 steps. One we did kirtan and.
Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu Smaranam, but you mean those 9? Yeah, 9 ways that we can connect to Krishna. Yeah, that's nice. So the first one is called Shravanam. Shravanam means hearing.
Sound.
What's it?
Sound?
No, it means hearing. Shravana. It means to hear. Shravan. To hear. So like now we're hearing about Krishna. So that is one way to connect to Krishna, to serve him or to connect to him. Second is kirtan. Kirtan means chanting. Like before we did some chanting. Did you like the chanting? Yeah, had some nice spiritual vibration. It is a way of connecting to God. When you chant, one of our mottos is chant and be happy. If you want to be happy in life, then you can chant. Just dance and chant like we do, and it will make you feel happy, peaceful, connected to Krishna. So that is called kirtan. Kirti literally means to glorify. So it means glorifying Krishna. When someone says your name, now what do? Like if someone's outside now, around the corner, and they say your name, then what do you do? If someone says Maggie, right? If someone calls Maggie,
Respond.
yeah, then you become Utkanta. Utkanta means your neck elongates. You go like, oh, who's calling me? Like that. So when you call Krishna's name, if you call it with enough feeling, then Krishna says, oh, who is calling me? Like Draupadi, you know the famous story. Draupadi said, hey Govinda, hey Krishna. And then Krishna said, where is she? She's calling me, she needs me now. And he came, and he looked after her. Even in my life, sometimes I've called Krishna, and Krishna, he looks after, he protects. So, Shravanam, Kirtanam, Smaranam. Smarana means remembering. Yeah, Smaran means to remember. You remember. If you remember Krishna with love, right, then that is a way of serving Krishna or connecting to him, uniting with him. Smaranam. Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu Smaranam. Pada Sevanam. Pada Sevanam. Pada means the feet. Sevanam means serving. Serving Krishna. So what does it mean to serve someone's feet? This is a little bit, it's something which is there, it's prevalent in our tradition. It might be in other traditions as well. Do they, like in Christianity, do they put emphasis on the feet?
No, they put the whole body in the water.
The whole body in the water. Yeah, okay.
They do during Good Friday, the Pope washes the bishop's feet, but that's the only time.
Okay, so it is there.
Yeah.
It is there in their tradition. They wash the feet, yeah. So it's a way of showing respect to a person in our tradition, because in the ancient days, if someone came to your home, they would walk, generally, unless they were very affluent, they would have a chariot. And now we just get in the car, we just go. But people would walk a long distance. So when they got to your place, quite often you would wash their feet as a sign of respect. To soothe the feet. Because you just walked a long way then. So it's a way of respecting someone. So in our tradition we offer respect to the feet of Krishna, his deity form and so forth. Pada Sevanam. Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu Smaranam, Pada Sevanam. Archanam. Archana means to worship. In the temples all over the world we have forms of Krishna and we worship those forms. It's called Archa Vigraha. In India people will be familiar. Just like in Ayodhya. Has anyone been to Ayodhya? In India. Yeah, Ayodhya. Yeah, they just did the installation.
Yeah.
The whole world was watching it. Of this form of Ram. This is Archana, when you worship the form. And Modi, the Prime Minister, he did the arati in a ceremony to worship. So it's called Archana, worshipping the forms of Krishna. Pada Sevanam, Archana. Vandanam. Vandanam means prayers. Vandana, to offer prayer. People pray. Like that's one way of connecting to God. Quite often people pray when they need something. Give us this day our daily bread. Prabhupada, the founder of the Hare Krishna movement, he used to say, why are you just asking God for bread? He can give you much more than bread. Give us this day our daily bread. At least it's nice that you're asking him. But if that's all you ask from God, then he can give you so much more than bread. Vandanam, Dashyam. Dasya means servant, to be a servant of Krishna. That's one way to connect him, by serving him. Dashyam. Sakyam. Sakya means to become his friend, to develop a friendly mood, because he's our friend, he's our best friend. He's called Suridam Savabhutanam. Suridam means best friend of everyone. Who is the best friend of everyone in the world? Krishna. Krishna's the only one who could be the best friend of everyone, because there's always someone you don't like in this world. Hands up if there's someone you don't like in this world. Yeah, there's always someone we don't like. Right? But Krishna, everyone likes him. Actually, in this world, some people don't like him, but that's their problem. Because if you met him, you would think he's pretty nice. So, Sakyam, Atma Nivedanam. Atma Nivedanam means to give yourself to Krishna, to give your very soul to Krishna. It means to give everything. You don't hold anything back. That's what we try to do here at Hare Krishna Valley. We try to give everything to Krishna. When you give everything, you'll be happy. When you hold back, you'll be unhappy. Just like in any relationship. If you hold back, if you don't give everything, then people don't feel satisfied. But if you give everything, then Krishna will be happy. And you'll feel the most happy when you give everything. So they're the 9 ways that we can... Anything else? You'd like to add anything else? Or?
No, that's nice.
It's okay? Thank you.
Reminder.
Yeah, it was good. Thank you for prompting. It was good. Very nice. Any other questions? Yes, madam.
So when you talk about like protecting the children and the women and the elderly and all of that, and I'm just assuming that that would mean that the men are supposed to be doing the protecting. Why are they not included? And can you explain a bit more on that?
Yeah, because those 5 groups, right, the women, the children, the cows, the elderly, and the holy people, the brahmanas, they are said to be, how would you say it? They're said to be the ones that should be protected. Yeah, so you could say, it's not just men, but I mean everyone in society should take the responsibility of protecting those groups especially. I mean everyone should be protected.
Is that because they're more vulnerable?
Yeah, they're more vulnerable. And it means that they're innocent. There's purity there. So when purity is there, one should not abuse the purity. So like you'll see, traditionally, like on the Titanic, did you see that movie?
Yeah.
Titanic? No. So you saw what did they do when the ship started sinking?
Women and children.
Yeah, women and children. And even to this day, I think that's what we would do. I think most culture people would do that. Because there's an innocence there, there's a purity there, and that needs to be protected. So that's why those 5 groups are especially meant to be. You have to look after the men as well. Yeah. Yeah, men are nice as well. Men are nice as well. But it is the men's responsibility to make sure those 5 are always being protected. But it means everyone has to be protected. You know, we can't just say, oh well, you know, we're not going to look after men. Let them go down with the ship. And you try to get them in the boat as well. But you know, if we have to make a choice, like you know, if I was on a boat and the boat's going down, and there's the women in the ship, of course I'm going to say, okay, they go first, and the elderly people and the cows, and the holy people. Yeah, of course you're going to let them go first.
But you're including elderly men and elderly and male brahmanas in those categories as well.
Yeah, the elderly men. Like that, you know, then that would be difficult. You know, the boat's going down. You have to pick between your grandfather and your grandmother. It's not an easy choice. You probably have to say, oh, you know, grandma, you go first. But you know, it just means everyone should be looked after. But those 5 are especially mentioned.
Yeah, so it's more like an order of like innocence and vulnerability than it is of like leaving somebody out. Yeah.
It just means those 5, because what we practice here and what we practice in the ancient teachings is what we call Dharma. Well, we have a nice little bull that you can meet after lunch. His name is Dharma. Dharma means religiosity. It means moral conduct. It means proper culture and behavior. So we have to follow Dharma. So Dharma means that if those 5 are protected, society flourishes. If those 5 are abused or neglected, society becomes dark. As we said in the beginning, that's why there's darkness in the world. If you know, they're trying to stop the problems in the world, but they're not looking after those 5. So if you don't look after them, how are we going to have a peaceful world? We're not.
For all also too, the Brahminical are like the guide, they give the guidance, spiritual guidance to community, to society. And then the elderly have wisdom and have lived a life and have nurtured and have, you know, done that. And then the women are generally the nurturers, and then the children are the future. So that's why there's that emphasis on those particular groups, because those are quite, you know, foundational in societal structure. So they should be protected, and when they're protected it flourishes, because there's respect for religiosity, there's respect for the wisdom and acknowledgement of what the elderly have done, and the nurturers and the future and the children.
Then what about the cows?
Oh, and the cows are like the mothers, the centrepiece of nourishment, but in a society, in traditional society, there was a lot more emphasis on the role of the cow.
Is that okay? Yeah. But we look after everyone. Men are good too. Men are good too. Yeah, they just don't get a mention. But they're good.
Well, they're kids.
Yeah, they're there. They're there. They're in the groups. Any other questions? Everyone has attained enlightenment.
In that
No
case,
questions?
do we have time? If I can
Yeah,
ask one more.
of course.
Earlier you said that Atma changes bodies like clothes. Can you let us know what that is based on, like the karma and
Yeah.
yonis and that one?
Yeah. Why do we change to a particular body? Yeah. Yeah, as you said, it's because of karma. So, in the Bible it says, as you sow, so shall you reap. That's karma. So whatever you do in this life, that's all you'll get in the next life. Now that is called karma. So if you are acting like a good person, then in your next life you get good results. If you're acting like a negative person, in your next life you get negative results. But the thing is with karma, from what I've seen in the world, it's always mixed. Right? It's always mixed. Because we've had many lives. So in our many lives, we've accrued positive results, punya, and negative results, papa. So we've done good things, we've done negative things. Because you see in everyone's life, it's a mixture. Right? There's some good, but there's some bad. Like some people have a lot of money, so you can say that's good. Some people are poor, right? That can be bad. But then some people are very intelligent, that's good. Some people are not very, that's bad. Some people are very physically attractive, that's good. Or they have strong bodies or fit bodies, that's good. Some people, they're born with disease or with infirmity or problems, that's bad. So all these things are always mixed. Just like you see King Charles, right? He's the king now, King Charles. So you see his life, it's all mixed. Right? He's born the King of England. So, you know, there's some good parts to that because in one sense you never have to work. Everything is just there for you, so that's good. But then he couldn't marry the person that he wanted to marry, so that's bad. And, you know, there's so many problems of karma, and, you know, it's always mixed, you see with everyone. So the answer is, why is it that some people are born one way, some people are born the other way? That's karma. Right? Some people have very good experience in life, that's good karma. People have bad, that's bad karma. So everything is from what we've done previously. And it's always mixed. And no one gets a perfectly good deal. It's always mixed deal. That's the nature of this world. Anything you want to add? So, yeah. Any other questions? Yes, sir.
Yeah. Like so when you're in your past life, reflecting on that past life, that chooses if you like know who Krishna is and study human stuff. Yeah, but like, so I was just wondering, because when I was like first born, there was a kirtan on, like straight away as soon as I was born. So I think I was just like a cow who was like saved by some peaceful devotees. So like I just wanted to know, does that like change anything in me? Like, am I more pure?
Because you were a cow in your previous life.
No, like if I like, because I was with devotees who saved me and I was in a spiritual area.
So, do you know that you were a cow in your spiritual life? Do you remember being a cow?
Well, it says that like before your human life, you're a cow.
Yeah, I understand. Yeah, cows become humans. But what is more likely is that you were a human in your last life. You were a devotee of Krishna in your last life, but you didn't become completely pure. So now Krishna is giving you another chance because you were born in a family of devotees, right? And when you were born, the Maha Mantra was playing. You heard Krishna's name as soon as you were born. So that means, but you're taking up from where you left off. Because in Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says, wherever you leave off, that's what you will take up in your next life. So now you're starting again. So this time, you have to get it completely perfect. This time you have to become a pure lover of Krishna. And then you don't have to have another life. You don't have to be born as a cow, or born as a devotee, or born as an advak, or anything. You can just go back and live with Krishna. Is that okay? Okay. Any other questions? Anything else? We have some time, so if you want to ask anything, you can. Any other questions? Okay. Everyone's happy and satisfied? That's good. So we'll go and see the sacred cows after lunch. We'll take some prasad, some spiritual food, and then afterwards. Those of you who brought your tickets today, thank you very much. Those who didn't get the tickets, if you want to give a donation, you can leave in the donation box, or you can come and see me and we can arrange. So we'll go outside, turn right. We'll serve the prasadam, the lunch, just down here, and then you can just sit anywhere you want. We have a dining room next door if you want to sit inside. If you just want to have a picnic outside, you can sit wherever you want. And then after lunch, we'll go across and see the sacred cows. Thank you all for coming. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.